Stick around because today we're diving into a decision that has ignited an inferno of outrage among the public. Keir Starmer's government has taken a sledgehammer to winter fuel payments, a lifeline for thousands of pensioners across the UK. Critics are not just whispering their discontent, they are screaming about the devastating consequences that this cut could unleash. Imagine waking up to freezing temperatures without the means to turn on your heating. Before we plunge deeper, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay updated on the stories that matter. In a recent session, Starmer faced a barrage of questions, with one inquiry hitting particularly hard: the reality of pensioner poverty. Since 2013, 300,000 more pensioners have slipped into relative poverty, and the situation is only worsening, especially for women who are disproportionately affected. This is not just a statistic but a stark reality that many are grappling with. As the winter approaches, the government's decision to slash winter fuel payments seems not just foolish but downright cruel. Experts are warning that this move could lead to over 4,000 excess deaths this winter alone, as vulnerable elderly individuals will be left shivering in their homes, struggling to stay warm. You have to wonder, why would anyone make such a reckless decision, especially concerning our most vulnerable citizens? The £1,000 threshold for winter fuel payments is a mere drop in the ocean compared to the rising costs of living. Starmer's government is essentially telling pensioners to wait it out until spring, but for many, that's simply not an option. Critics have labelled this as another instance of a government completely disconnected from the realities of its citizens. This isn't just a budget cut, it's a potential humanitarian crisis. Debbie Abrahams, a member of the Liaison Committee, confronted Starmer directly about this shocking decision. She pressed him for specifics on what measures the government was taking to avert this looming disaster. His response? A vague mention of allowances not specifically targeted at pensioners, administered by local authorities. It's a classic case of bureaucratic jargon that sounds good on paper but fails to address the pressing needs of those affected. Let's pause and consider the gravity of cutting winter fuel payments. For many pensioners, this isn't just a financial cushion, it's a lifeline. It's about whether they can afford to heat their homes during the bitter winter months. Rising energy costs and inflation have already pushed many to the brink, and now, with this cut, they are left with the gut-wrenching choice of turning on the heating or going hungry. It's a nightmare scenario that's unfolding right before our eyes. When Starmer was pressed about the public's outrage and fear, his answer left much to be desired. Acknowledging the concerns is one thing, but offering no concrete solutions is another. While he pointed to long-term strategies, pensioners need action immediately, not promises that may or may not materialize in the future. The anger is palpable, yet Starmer appears unfazed, which only serves to fuel the fire of discontent among the populace. Social media has exploded with stories of despair and frustration. One heartbreaking account that has gone viral is of an 82-year-old grandmother in Manchester, who has been rationing her heating since November. She wraps herself in blankets during the day and turns off her radiators at night, living in constant fear of what this winter will bring. This isn't just a single incident, it's a reflection of the grim reality facing thousands of pensioners across the country. Starmer's government has made decisions that raise serious questions about its priorities and compassion. Can a government that claims to support its citizens genuinely do so when it fails to protect its most vulnerable? The elderly have contributed to this country their entire lives. They fought in wars, raised families, and paid taxes. They deserve dignity and respect, not to be left out in the cold. The backlash from this decision is not just political, it's personal. People are starting to connect the dots between Starmer's choices and the suffering of their loved ones. It raises the question, is this cut really necessary for economic reasons, or is it simply a gross oversight by a government that seems to have lost its way? As we dissect the fallout from this decision, it's crucial to remember that the stakes are incredibly high. Starmer's administration is at a crossroads, and the choices made in the coming months will determine not just the future of the Labour Party but the future of Britain itself. Will he steer the country through this storm, or will he plunge it deeper into chaos? It's time for you to weigh in. Do you think Starmer's decisions are a necessary evil or a sign that he's completely out of touch with the realities facing everyday Britons? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this breakdown enlightening, don't forget to like and share. Together, we can keep the conversation alive and hold those in power accountable. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.